party. Oh man, I was just
Prepare for boarding.
I was just checking my Amazon and it says mine's coming tomorrow now.
Listen, American Amazon can try be ours. Ours was ready. I got it the next day. Listeners, if you're just listening, your eyes are missing out on viewing my very own copy of Airpeen, which
The
Angela,
cover honestly is phenomenal though. The cover is great.
it's perverse in the best way.
Yes.
A plus. A plus plus. Angela and I will be buddy reading this.
Yes. Honestly, as soon as mine comes, I'm reading her. Oh, she's thin.
She's thin. So I almost read it last night, but then I was like, in case you want to wait to record till next month, I don't want to have like
Oh
boarded
no.
without you.
Yeah, oh no. This we have to do this soon, I think, because I've
Yeah.
had I know the people want to know,
Mm.
about Erpine.
They do want to know. And also, I can cut this out, but are we gonna like slowly start announcing our exciting unhinged idea?
Yeah, yeah. When do you want to do this?
Let's just, you know what? I'm releasing Vanessa's episode before this. So we might as well just talk about it. And then if we want, we can cut it out. But I don't see why we would. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I think I think we started this because of the podcast.
Literally.
And so to talk about it on the podcast just feels like the right thing to do.
Absolutely. The
And
listeners,
like every step along the way, I think is the thing to do.
I agree. Okay, well, then, dear listeners, you're hearing it here first. Due to popular demand and repeated badgering, dare I say, from our listeners, we have decided that we are going to do of the publishing Persuasion um anthology.
Yes, we are. Yes. And I we were laughing about this yesterday. It might not be the anthology you were expecting, but I feel like it's gonna be the one that you know in your heart is right.
That you
It's right for us.
deserve.
Yes, yeah, it might not be the anthology you were expecting, but it's the one you deserve.
Bitch, I'm gonna use that as a sound bite later.
It's that's perfect. That was good. That was good.
That was good. So yes, it's not a joke. We've been in discussion and we have decided to bring you a Christmas delight, a delicious, smut-filled, I don't know if we'll release the title just yet. Maybe we'll hold off that for the next episode.
Yeah.
We'll reveal that it's an exciting crossover with uh, a second party in another episode. We'll give you more information about that. But what we
Yes.
will tell you is that we will be opening a few slots in the anthology for stories from our listeners. So if you are a aficionado of the spicy tomes, and if your heart prances like Prancer on Christmas Eve, we're gonna want to hear from you soon. So yeah, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, I think we will probably open for those submissions at the beginning of March.
Mm,
So we will probably announce sooner than later. Like, I guess we'd have to announce the title and the theme so people can get prepared
you want to do it
for,
now?
yeah, I suppose. So so this anthology, I personally have been calling it a horny holiday anthology extravaganza. Um, we have entitled it. We have titled it.
We have entitled it.
I don't think that's right, is it?
Well, I mean, if we found a way to entitle our books, I guess they would start to think about colonizing or something.
Yeah.
That's
So
what you
the
said,
title,
right?
yeah,
They were
yeah.
entitled.
That's entitled. Yeah, the title
Yeah.
of this glorious anthology that we plan to have come out in December or before, depending
Mm.
how we're feeling, is Jingle These Bells.
Yes.
Jingle these bells. Let that soak in.
Yeah.
Let your mind, you know,
Rome.
uh, roam. Yeah, fester. But yeah, so I think we're gonna have to actually start
Mm.
talking about it more often and posting stuff on our actual like page
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to announce like that we're gonna be looking for authors in March. I think in March will be our opening uh our open time slot
Yeah,
to
yeah.
receive submissions, which is
Mm.
wild and so fun. In the meantime, we're also going to be asking some of our friends that have been on the podcast and seeing who wants to join in on the chaos. It's going to be everything you would expect of Melanie and I putting together a anthology like this, you
Yes.
know?
I don't want to make your heart flutter too hard, but I may have written 1,500 words this morning on my peak
Oh,
already.
she's ready.
She's
Oh.
ready. So look out. Look
That's
out.
amazing. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yes.
so stay
We're-
tuned, listeners. We're going to be bringing you more information soon. We apologize for this chaotic unveiling.
That's what, luckily, we do have Robin Alvarez, who is going to be helping us. She's going to be like the third member of
Yeah.
Publishing Persuasion, because she just knows what the hell she's doing. She's amazing. She
Yeah.
was the editor for the Owl Crate anthology that I was part of or am part of.
Yeah.
So she knows what she's doing. She's just that girl. I love
Yeah.
Alvarez, Robin, so much, and we're gonna have her on the show in two
Next.
days. So we get to chat with her again, all about this and about what she's got going on, which
Yeah.
is a lot. So
A lot.
yeah,
And you're right. She's so wise. I'm so excited that we're doing that episode this week. And yeah. But how have you been otherwise, my friend? We skipped right into all the chaos.
yeah. Melanie can't hold a secret for shit. She was just ready. She was like, you know what? Let's tell everybody. And I'm glad because I've been dropping hints for like the last few episodes. And so
Literally.
I'm glad it's out of the
Yeah, and
bag.
we'll expand as we go, okay? Like, I don't always have the fine print tuned, you know?
Yeah. Yes, that I think that's the fun of it because
Yeah.
we're learning as we're going and we just want to have fun and have something that's really exciting for us to like think about and do throughout the year,
Oh.
throughout the times where life is hectic or we're on submission
Yeah,
or we're in between projects or whatever we're doing. So I think this is going to be super, super fun. So I'm
literally.
pumped. And
Yeah.
yeah, our listeners are going to be with us along the ride, um, through the ups and downs, all the mistakes we're going to learn, and all of our triumphs, as
Yes,
we together this anthology.
that was beautiful. How's your last read through going?
Good. I actually made it through 60% of my book today. I just sat
Oh
and
my
listened to
gosh.
it. And yeah, I think it's we're going. We're going. We're getting there. I think I just want to get finally be done and send it off
Yeah.
and onto the next whatever it is or
Mm.
take a break because I actually will be traveling a lot this month. So, yeah. So, I think to be honest, while I'm traveling, I'll probably be doing writing and for
Yeah.
a little bit right now, I'll just take a break, but
Mhm.
yeah, because this next weekend I am home, but after that, for the next 3 weekends, I will be in different
Oh my
all
gosh.
over. Yeah.
Are you
So
excited?
I'm excited. On ho not Halloween. What is that? Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day weekend. I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, over there at Love Y'all Book Fest. Jessica Parr is going to be there. We're going to be on a panel together. Tobias Madden and I will be on a panel. Yeah, like so a few pub persuasion people will be there. Jenny Howe, I think. Yeah. So it should be fun. I'm really excited.
Yes. Does it feel like when you've had them on the pod and you see them in person, do they feel like you already met them before?
Yeah, no, whenever I see like people that we've had on the show that like are buddies, I love it. It feels so like just here we are, best friends. No big deal.
I love that. And like I'll say most of the time, it feels like exactly the same as it did when we were on the pod.
I always find it interesting that like when I do go to places like
Mm.
because I'll post funny videos or do whatever of myself and I'm always like, uh-oh, they're gonna meet me and be like, you're different. Like that's not the girl I
Like
remember.
quieter in person?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think I am. I mean, I know I am. I'm like a little more, I'm reserved, just
Yeah.
naturally. But like whenever I'm around certain people or I'm on stage, I'm totally fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm like so impressed that you're able to like claim that space for yourself though, because it can be so tempting. It's something I perpetually like try to balance. Like it can be so like hard to not feel like you have to be in the entertainer mode sometimes around groups of people. But I am really trying hard to not, it's not sustainable. I'm also like I wouldn't say I'm naturally reserved or quiet. Like I can't shut the fuck up. Like there's a reason I like interviewing people. Like literally we went in to get boba tea on the weekend and um Phil had seen this book that was like how to talk to people. And he was like, "Oh, he's like maybe I should read that jokingly because he's also more shy." And then we went into the boba place and the boba chick had cut her hair and it looked really great. And I was just like, oh my God, your hair, like rah rah. And then we were chatting and she was telling me how suddenly she was telling me her life story, how like her hair had been thinning and like so now she's cut it like this. And I was like, oh well, it's a sleigh. I was like, you look fucking hot. I was like, I wouldn't even know it was thin. I just thought you looked great. But and then we left the shop and he was like, bitch, he's like, you could write that book. He was like, and I was just like, yeah, I do like engaging people in that moment. But then if I had to go beyond that, I would get tired very quickly because it's like in the moment, I like to like engage people and like have that. But to make really deep, true friends, it takes me way longer, like way, way longer. I need to be able to drop the because yeah, I have a lot of that naturally as well. The quiet, grumpy, emo moments. It's not even always grumpy. I just like quietly stare at things a lot. You know what I mean? Like I need to decompress. I can't be stimulated all the time, otherwise I just get anxious. So it's like such a balance, eh?
Yes, it is. It's interesting like going to conventions.
Mm,
Um, it's so fun, but it is really, really
a lot.
uh it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. I think for most writers, like the best part is chatting with your readers and
Yeah.
like having those moments of just like in line talking about the book or just
Mm,
smiling and taking pictures. Like all of that stuff I think across the board is just the best. The panels are really,
mm.
really fun. But yeah, it's like all of the like for me, it's all the moments in between that are such a struggle.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
No,
Like
literally.
I'm going to at the end of this month I'm going to Florida and I was just like looking at the itinerary and this is a totally different event. This is like put on by the libraries in that county, and
Mm,
it's like this big event, and they're sending a car to the airport to pick me up, and I'm going to be with these authors that a lot of them I don't know. They're very, very like very established authors and like a and not a ton of young adult authors, so I don't really know these authors, but they're like I know them. You know what I mean? But I
yeah.
don't know them. And I was just thinking, I was reading the itinerary and it was like from you take a shuttle from the hotel to the dinner.
Yeah.
And I was just in my head thinking, oh no, I have to go to this in this shuttle
Fuck.
with strangers. And then I have to go to a dinner. Like, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
already like, how is this gonna, how am I
Mm,
gonna live? How am I?
You're a girl after my own heart are also like those in between parts. That's I'm trying so hard to learn to be comfortable in those spaces because historically I would overextend myself and just do the chatty boba tea lady thing the whole 5 hours, right? And sometimes conversation flows and whatever, but even like with like your very best of friends, 5 hours of conversation is you're gonna want to shut your brain off at a point. And
Yeah.
yeah, with super close people, you just do it naturally because now you're gonna go make dinner. Now you're gonna like nobody, when you're at home, no one expects you to just like keep talking all the time. But I feel like maybe we just need to release ourselves more and just be comfortable with the silence. It's just hard. It is so hard with strangers, especially. Although with total, how big is the shuttle? If you're
I
like
have
on a
no idea.
bus and you've got your own window, you can just stare out, you know?
Yes, just moodily like having a moment. I don't know. I have no idea the
Mm.
size of the shuttle. I think all I know, or that I remember, is the dinner that they host
Mm.
because it's like a night with the authors. They have 150 people RSVP'd just for the dinner. And, and then the authors are like intermixed amongst these people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't, I don't know.
You're gonna be
I don't know.
great. The one
Yeah.
wonderful thing about something like that is, as soon as you have more than one person, it becomes like the pressure's off because you can just let them be the chatty people and you can just drop in when you feel like, you know what I mean? Like when there's
Yeah.
multiple people in a conversation, especially if like they're like, what did you say? Like they're older authors, like more, I don't know who they are.
I don't know either.
But if they've done the events together before, they might be more chatty with each other naturally, and you can just let it happen to have your time to recharge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have to
Yes.
like, it's okay to let them think that you're quiet and you don't want to talk in that moment. It doesn't, do you know what I mean? Like that's the struggle
Yeah.
because you're like, oh, you don't want them to think you don't want to talk or whatever. But sometimes you have to if it's going to be a big event. You're
Gotta
going to
soak it
kill
in.
it.
Yeah. I mean, I think also the struggle I have too when I'm quiet is I really and truly look like a bitch. I know I do. I know I do.
We all do though. Who doesn't? My resting bitch face is atrocious, and it's like 95% of the time that's how I look.
It's a struggle.
I've
It's a
had
real
people ask
struggle.
me like what's wrong, like or whatever, but like it's just nobody's supposed to be at that high energy 24/7. I blame American TV for making us think we have to smile and be like high energy
Yeah.
24/7.
Well, and that's how we are culturally. Like we're
Yeah.
very like on top of the game, and we always have like compliments, and we're always like we're just up and
Mm,
naturally. And it's not media. Like that's how we are for the most
mm,
part. But many of us aren't. But
yeah.
culturally,
It's
that's
expected.
expected is to be like um yeah, to be an all around just like bubbly person. And but that is kind of the nice like way of chatting because you can just
Yeah,
compliment each other to death. You literally can have a compliment war. That's just
that's
how we
true.
culturally are.
And I am a big believer as well in like bringing good energy. Like, I think if you're meeting some, especially like if I haven't seen a friend for a while, or like when we do the podcast, I'm like, well, this is part of our, this is what we do. Like, I want to come on, I want to celebrate the person. Sometimes, even if I'm in a really flat mood, I'll like do a little dance to get my energy up or something. Because you're right. Like, sometimes it's not even polite. It's just nice. It makes I like how it feels when the energy is high. But yeah, I think we need to normalize like when we spend more time with each other that it's okay for that energy to drop because you don't want to be feeling that
Yes.
pressure the whole time. And I think it will help
Yes.
to remember that you are also the star. You don't have to entertain the people on the bus. You can be the moody diva and put your sunglasses on and just hide in the corner a
Yes.
little bit, you know?
I'm just gonna be like, they're gonna be like, who's that new hot shot in town?
Exactly. I'm excited. You always kill the events, and this will be no different. Just make sure you eat.
God, I know.
Make sure you eat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I,
just be in your DMs the whole time you're away and be like, have you eaten? Have you
yeah,
taken
exactly.
fluids?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do better, learn. Because when I'm home, I can just get myself snacks. But
Mm.
in these situations, I just, you're here. And so you're not
You need
concerned
to
about
take the
yourself.
muesli bars with you.
I do. I do. I do. It's
Take the
true.
muesli bars with you. Take your copy of Airpine.
Yes.
Which one are you looking forward to? Your panel with Paris sounds so exciting. What's it called again?
I don't know what that one's called. I think it's like First Loves or I don't know.
Ah,
I'm
what's the
doing a few
ghost tour
panels.
thing that should, oh, has that
Oh
already passed?
yeah. No, no, no. So that's all part of the
Yeah.
Love Y'all, which is in Georgia. So the day before the actual convention, like there's different author groups that are doing different things. So we're going to, well, I don't know what we're doing, but we're some sort of ghost tour. So I don't know if we're visiting like a haunted house or like we're touring, we're taking walks. I know they said to wear comfortable shoes. So
So you can run from the spirits.
yeah. Oh,
How do you
I
feel? Because like literally last episode you were like, you don't like to like go into those spaces. I was
yeah.
curious when I saw that it was a ghost tour. I was like, how does Angela feel about the ghost tour?
I feel like if it's gonna be daytime
The
and
ghosts
like
do seem to avoid the daytime randomly, very against the sunlight.
yes. So I think I'll be okay. I better be. If I'm not claiming that. They're not coming my way. I'm not
Just wear
handling
the
that.
bracelet I sent you.
I will. I'm gonna chakra the shit out of them. It's not happening.
It's okay, you're a powerful witch. They wouldn't dare
They
mess
wouldn't.
with you.
Yeah. Have you seen my resting bitch face? They're not coming this far. Yeah, I'm excited though, because again, I know if Jessica Parr is going to be there, there's going to be someone in my corner that's going to talk. And so
Oh, God
I'm good.
bless her. She is a talker and a half.
Yes, and I love it. I'm like, perfect. I can sit there, I can insert myself, and then I let her go. Those are the kind of
Mm.
friends I need in life.
It is fun. It is fun when other people will like carry the conversation. You're just like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those are my people. That's what I need.
Well, the big question is when are you going to work on your smutty Jingle Bell story? Are you gonna, well, you're taking your time off this week.
Yeah. I have another anthology that I
Oh, yeah. Can we talk about, I
yeah.
wasn't sure. I had that in my notes to remind myself, ask Angela about anthology.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been announced and things haven't been signed yet, but yeah, it's really exciting. It's fun. So I'm pumped about it. It's like a cozy fantasy.
Ooh.
So, yeah, so that's really fun. I love that. So yeah, I think once I'm done with sending Carnival out
Mm.
back to my team, I will take a break and then I'll work on the anthology. And then, well, I don't know. I'm gonna work on our
You
anthology
got a lot
probably
on you.
then as well. Yeah, and then like I mentioned, I had some other ideas for adult stuff. So I
She
think I'm just
is
gonna,
busy.
yeah, I'm just gonna be popping here and there.
Not you like an episode ago being like, what if I like don't have anything to write about? And then you're just like, and this and this and this and this and this, as if that
Really.
brain would ever stop. Sorry, what were you
Yeah,
gonna say?
I don't know, but listening to what Camilla had to say of like not being tied down to one genre
Mm,
is so freeing because yeah, give yourself the permission to try other things. And I
yeah.
think that's where I'm at in this
Mm,
race right now. Although I really do love young adult
yeah.
books and writing young adult books. So who the hell knows?
No,
Who
I
knows?
I feel like that like the more conversations I was just like feeling this relief because as you know, like I kind of write across the board and like sometimes I've wondered if that kind of hindered me because I would like submit middle grade and then I would submit YA and then I would submit adult. But like I haven't I have loved writing them all. Do you know what I mean? And like and sometimes you have an idea that's completely, oh, like dystopian. One of my YAs is dystopian. One of my middle grades is contempt, whatever. Like there's all these different ideas. And like we were saying in DMs, like we watch so many different things. Like it makes sense that we would start to dream about other genres, other age categories. And it does feel stifling sometimes, I think, to have to stick to one. Like
Yeah.
it's okay to get bored with writing YA fantasy and need a break. I think we don't give ourselves permission to admit that, but I will say that sometimes I get fucking bored of something I'm working on. And maybe
Yeah.
it's because I was writing too much fantasy or like it just wasn't the right vein of fantasy or something. And it can help writing a different age category or a different genre. So I'm so excited to see what you come up with next.
Thank you. I love that. I love that thought process of like it's okay. Sometimes we
Yeah,
get bored and that's okay. Like
yeah.
that's human. We're humans.
You're a amazing storyteller, you know? And I think that like again, marketing and business has like maybe forced us to think that that has to be down this one vein of things. You know what I mean? And it's scary. I can see why people stick to it because like, well, I had success with this and then it's so hard to break in at all. But ultimately, if you're not having that same joy writing it, why not try something else? And you can always come back to it. But it may be that YA fantasy has kind of just become work because you've done three books, maybe,
Yeah.
and maybe
Yeah.
you just need a break from that particular thing. Doesn't mean you won't write it again, but like, yeah, you might need that break to fall back in love with it. Or maybe you won't. Maybe the next Danielle Steele will be Angela Montoya. You know, maybe there'll be 20 of those on our shelves. I can see you being like a very prolific adult like not even fantasy, just whatever, romance, whatever you decide to do, aliens, fucking historic, wherever you decide to go with it. I can really see, I've always had this image of like your name on like books, like the way Danielle Steele's is, like these romantic, large, like a
Ooh.
girthy tome that can take up the whole
Yes.
shelf, you know?
Well, thank you. I love that for me. I do.
I love
I love
that
that
for
for
you
me.
too.
I see it. I see the vision.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a
Well,
solid
now I want to
name.
ask you because, well, I know we only have, oh, never mind. We don't have time.
Read
Uh,
the bio first and then ask
okay.
me. Do you have
No,
it there?
I'll get it. Hold on.
Dang it, I should have had it up. I had
Okay,
my
I have
random
it.
question. Oh, you got it?
Yeah. Okay. Kamilah Cole is a national best-selling Dragon Award-nominated author. Jamaican-born and American-raised, she works in publishing by day and by night she writes like she's running out of time. In the past, she's also worked as a journalist and at a hotel. And at a hotel, I didn't know about that. Did we
Hmm.
know about? Maybe we
No,
asked you
I
that
didn't
last
know
time.
about that.
Two jobs that give you amazing stories to tell at parties. You
Fact.
know, if she went to parties. A graduate of New York University, Camilla is currently based in the Pacific Northwest, where she's usually playing Kingdom Hearts for the hundredth time, quoting early Spongebob Squarepants episodes, or crying her way through Zuko's redemption arc in Avatar: The Last Airbender. You can
Hmm.
connect with her on social media at Word Siren or on her website, CamillaCole.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Why are you looking at me like you got it wrong?
Well, let me just be honest with you. Her website, it's Camilla, and then there's a line, Cole,
Uh,
and I don't know what that line is called.
Dash?
Yes.
Oh, one is
It's a
slash, one
dash.
is dash.
It's a dash. Okay. It's at Camilla-Cole.com. I felt really silly just now because I was like,
No.
I had a moment where I was like, what is that line called?
Don't even stress. Seriously, that's every day I'm like, wait, is that even a word? What's that called? How do you pronounce that? That's my whole life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always bad when spell check is like, girl, I don't know what you're trying to write. Like, what is this word? And I'm like, you need to know this. This is your job. And it's like, bitch, I do not.
What were you gonna ask me? Now I'm curious. Now
Ugh, okay,
last
well,
minute
in a
and a
minute
half.
45. Well, because we asked Camilla, like, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10
Oh
years?
shit.
Yeah, I don't know if you've got time, but if you got time, where do you see yourself?
You know, it's a good question. I hope that I'm just doing the same thing that I've always done, which is just following that like that Rumi poem, The Mysterious Pool of Your Heart. And it's brought me to all the good things in my life, just like that mysterious pool of the heart. You know what I mean? So I hope I'm just still doing that. I hope I'm still building this community. I hope I've still found the courage to continue as a writer. I hope I've sold some motherfucking books. I
Period.
will. I will have sold several books by that point. I hope I'm on a tropical island sipping a fucking cocktail with you and celebrating all our books that we sold, you know?
Yes. We're claiming that 100%. It's happening. There's no ifs and or buts about it.
Yes, it's just when. I love that with less than a minute to go. See, I'm good with a condensed version. Actually, it's better when I have a time limit.
Yeah, that was really good. It was really good and profound. Very profound. This is a profound episode.
Yeah, nothing could be as profound as Camilla though, and here she is.
Oh.
You made the segue for that to happen. You
No, that was all you. That was good. That was really good.
Hello.
Hello.
So excited to see you again.
Yes.
We are excited. We are the ones who are excited to see you.
No, I'm in a meeting with my favorite podcasters, so I think I'm the one who's fangirling right now.
Oh my God.
Melanie, make sure to record that and send that everywhere so everybody knows that we're her favorite podcasters.
That should be
Um,
like the preview clip for the episode.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. Because I feel
Melanie,
like
you're
we
the best.
have a celebrity on today, to be honest.
No, Melanie, I'm obsessed with your earrings.
Oh, what? I actually made these ones, so thank you. You made my day. They're little monsters.
I love that. I thought they were cats. Same thing.
Yeah.
yeah, same exact thing. Little monster cats, or just monsters.
Well,
Cats that are
I happen
monsters.
to have a duplicate pair of this for the brief moment in time when I was going to open an Etsy store, so I will send them to you if you want.
Yes. 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 Absolutely. 100%. I will give you my address right now. It's kidding.
But you know what? Melanie is not kidding.
I'm
She's
not. I'll
absolutely going to
send
send those to you.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk after this.
Yeah. Well, obviously you could tell we're so happy to have you back on. We love you. Everybody loves you. You're a star. The world needs to know this. They already know this. We
Eh,
are blessed.
uh, everything you just said stressed me out, but thank you. I don't take compliments well to anyone who didn't watch my first episode, but I'm trying to get better.
It's such a
Yes.
balance, eh? And I find that like my favorite people don't take compliments well, but at the same time, I want them to be able to. But then there's like when you're in your own body, there's this fine line of like, am I being too cocky now? So I get it. It's like a tightrope that we walk. We can.
Makes me want to I gotta go dump water over my head because I'm blushing too much, but keep saying nice things. Like don't stop.
One of my favorite new ways of receiving compliments is to be ridiculous about it. Like if someone's like, "Oh my gosh, your outfit is so nice." I'm like, "I know, isn't it?" Yes, thank you. It is, and I just it makes me feel better of being like over dramatic about it. I don't know. I don't know. And
Know
then they
what?
probably hate me after because they're like, "Ew, what a bitch." But
No, that's smart. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm just gonna go full theater kid anytime anyone says something nice to me.
yes, you must. Just be like, I know I am a star.
Except Angela, didn't that backfire on you at school one day and the lady
Yeah.
just like looked at you like doop 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 doop, just like you.
No, that was me being super awkward and being like, because she said, oh, like people like to ask, like, what are you? What ethnicity are you? And so, I was explaining it to her and she's like, "Oh, you're so pretty." And I said, "Thanks. It's just genetics. Like it is literally has nothing to do with me. It's my parents." And she was like, "Okay." Like just take the compliment. And I was like, "Oh, shoot."
Oh,
People
Anyway.
still
well,
asking
I
that question in
thank you. That's
2025.
what, Melanie, that's exactly what I was about. I was like, can we pause and rewind?
Oh yeah. You have no idea how often I get asked that. Like, "What are you? Where are you from?" And I'm like,
A human woman
"Well,
Yeah.
yeah, just let me be. Let me be."
from Earth.
Uh, yeah, I am from Earth, or am I? We don't know anymore.
You know what? I would believe either way.
Yes. True. Well, back to you.
Yeah.
Back to complimenting you on all things. Uh, don't hide, accept this. No, we are so excited to have you on because again, you have just been killing it in the publishing realm. Congratulations on everything. For our listeners who haven't been blessed to listen to your episode or to know you, can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Hi, listeners. I am Kamilah Cole. I am a 34.
That's
I'm
real.
34.
This is me anytime anyone asks any personal information, including my name.
My birthday is in April, so like I'm mentally already there. But yes, I am 34. I'm a 34-year-old author of fantasy for teens and for adults. My debut novel, So Let Them Burn, The Start of the Divine Traders duology, came out last January. It is a Jamaican-inspired Joan of Arc with dragons, about these two sisters, one which was blessed by the gods with the power to stop a dragon riding empire, and then her older sister bonds to a dragon. So she gets entangled, we'll call it an entanglement, with an ancient evil imprisoned god who promises that he can break her sister's bond in exchange for his freedom. So that was the first book. And now we're here to talk about the second book and the end of the duology. This ends in Embers, which comes out at the time of this recording tomorrow.
Mm.
I am so chill and not at all freaking out about that.
I can only imagine. Like, how has it all been? I feel like I'm skipping ahead with questions, but I'm like invested now in the journey. Like, how has things been since we chat last? Like, it's a roller coaster that we're viewing from this end. I want to hear it from you.
Well, what's really hard is like, so This Ends in Embers is the very first book that I had to write from start to finish on a deadline. If any writers are out there who are looking to publish your book, enjoy this time that it is taking you to get that book done because you will never have this much time to
Yeah.
get a book done again. Your first draft will have to go to your editor and you will need to get that book done in like a year, if you're lucky. So that was really difficult for me personally because I've never written a sequel before. I've
Mm.
never written a book on a deadline before. I was always just like, all right, when I feel like it. There's no more right when you feel like it. And then on top of that, I was also still promoting the first book. I was going to, Y'all West. I was going to like all of these places and promoting the first book while working on the second book, while also thinking ahead to my adult book, which comes out in 2026. So since you saw me last, I've had 20 breakdowns, you
Oh.
know, laid face down on the floor crying while my cat prodded me with her paw. Like, I, I, yeah.
That's so real.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what? Like, we all laugh about it afterwards because, if we can't laugh at our trauma, what can we? But that's so real. Like, who of us hasn't laid down face first on the carpet and had a cry? For me, I love to go in the shower and sit in the bath and just let the shower fall on my head like I'm an ancient samurai and I just like weep and no one can see the tears. But
Also
that
very
it's
funny.
real. It's like a really, how do you feel like you got through that?
It has been a lot of like I've been lucky enough that I have like a really good support system. As I said, I have this cat. She has no idea what's going on in the world, but like she's always really happy to see me and she sleeps
Mhm.
in my bed with me. And if she can sense that I'm anxious, she'll just lay down like near me. So that's been really helpful. I have my sister who gave me a pep talk just this morning, and to celebrate my book coming out tomorrow, she made brown sugar cookies for me because I love cookies. And then I have my best friends, like I really don't think this book would have gotten done at all without my best friend, Chelsea Abdullah, the author of The Stardust Thief. The sequel, The Ashfire King, comes out this April.
Yeah.
Um, but we've been like consistently like I'll break down and then she'll talk me back up and then she'll break down and I'll talk her back up, and just having that like give and forth. Like it's impossible to feel like a burden if she's also breaking down.
Yeah.
So those are really the three main support systems. Having a cat who has no idea what's going on, having a sister who really is disinterested in publishing, is always willing to make you cookies, and then having that one writing friend who understands exactly what you're going through and is also suffering. So you suffer together.
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, you've got the trifecta. You have like the power team. And I think honest cat cats are great. We love a cat that's going to give you a little massage. She's there for you. But also like having people outside of publishing, oh my gosh, to humble you and to remind you that there's a world beyond book, like the book.
Mm.
I think it's like oh my gosh, it's like so key because publishing is this weird thing where it really does take over your life. It takes over your brain and it like you're in it and everything feels so huge. So it's like good to have a sister that's like, I'm gonna make you cookies. Like you're good.
She's just like, let's make cookies. Let's go for a walk. Do you want to try a restaurant today? And meanwhile, I feel like all I do is go, for those of you who aren't watching the video, I just made a face that you would expect to go with that sound. Um, and then, and then I will come out and I'll be like, I'm so sorry that I have been like such a mess this week. And she'll be like, I have not noticed anything that you are doing.
Aw.
Watch my shows. You're fine. Like it's a great dose of like necessary grounding in reality.
I love those people so fucking much. Like my husband's like that. He's like when you show them like what you feel like is this like hideous
Huge.
side of yourself, not only are they like not like troubled by it, which like sometimes you fucking expect them to be troubled. You know what I mean? Like some of the shit we say or do, you're like, but then they're so chill about it. But then sometimes they even find it endearing and like bless those people. And we're so grateful to have them. Because a lot of times when you like come out of that space, you're like, you just don't want to be feeling like that anymore. So if people are like really stressed about it, you're like, wait, but I'm okay now. The world's not on fire. Today I want to go to the park.
Oh my God, I literally do that all the time. Where like for an hour I will be like up here and then I will be like in the kitchen like absolutely nothing happened. And it's like whiplash.
Yeah, totally.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Being an author is weird. It's a weird ass business. But we love it. Are you, besides cookies, are you doing anything special to celebrate?
Um, Sorry.
Did you see
Did you want to
Smokey?
see? So, hold on, I'm forcing him. I'm forcing.
He's so cute.
He's a
Sweet.
victim.
Aw.
He's such a victim. So yeah, are you doing anything to celebrate yourself besides cookies?
I don't know. I think my sister wanted to take me out to dinner, but the thing about launch day is that it's hard to make plans because you don't know how drained you're going to be after the event. And
Mm.
on top of like my launch event, I'm doing school visits in the
Wow.
day beforehand. So we're kind of playing it by ear right
Yeah.
Yeah.
now. But yeah, the plan was maybe dinner with my sister and like the two friends that I have here in Seattle because I just moved to Seattle. But we'll really see. Yeah.
Yeah. Play it by ear. Yeah, whatever, however you feel. Because you will, yeah. I mean, just being like having on social media and everybody congratulating you and like trying to keep up with that and like just all of it it's this amazing, wild experience, but also it is overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
overwhelming. It can be really draining, or sometimes it like energizes you. You really can't tell until the day of. So
yeah.
Yes. I'm feeling your words today so deeply in my core. It's like very, very relatable. And I think that's wise because it could swing either way. And so if you have the energy, you're like, well, then we'll go do something. But if you don't, you'll just curl into the bed with your cat and just, have a
Yes.
moment.
Hugging my cat is the celebration, regardless of how I feel tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wait, what was your cat's name?
Her name is Sora, after the Kingdom Hearts character, because Kingdom Hearts is my favorite video game.
I see. Okay. Yes, Sora. That's a really pretty name.
Mm,
It means,
Badass. It sounds badass.
yes, it means sky.
I love
yeah.
that.
I thought I
Uh-oh.
was
Back.
remembering my Japanese and I thought it might be the Japanese word for sky. More like one of the five words I remember.
She's bilingual.
So
She
cool.
is bilingual. Yeah. Okay, well, I want to get back to like one of our earlier questions because I don't know if we've ever asked you this,
Oh.
which is what is the strangest thing you own?
Uh, well, in light of what I just said, it doesn't seem strange anymore, but there is a replica Keyblade over my bed right now that I got from Spirit Halloween. Now, here's why it's strange. First of all, um, I got it for last Halloween. I was actually Barbie, so there was absolutely no reason for me to buy a Keyblade. And second of all, it is strange because it's not even like the Keyblade is like it's literally what it sounds like. It is a giant key that is wielded like a blade. And the strange part about it is it's not even the protagonist, Sora's keyblade. It is actually the keyblade belonging to the sometimes antagonist, sometimes protagonist, Riku, and it looks like evil. But it's not. So I would say that's probably the strangest thing that I own. It's not that strange since you know that I'm a fan, but I don't usually get memorabilia that's large enough to hang over my bed.
Oh, hey, isn't it nice being an adult and having adult money and getting to buy the Keyblade?
That is 100% what I said at the time. I was like, I am an adult. I earn this money.
Mm,
I can spend it on
yes.
whatever I want, and I want this keyblade.
Gotta do it.
I
You gotta live it. Yeah.
hmm And I feel like the people who don't do it and are like haters on that, they just secretly like crushed all their joy and desires. You know what I mean? Like people who don't get
Can't
it
be
are
me.
just missing out on life.
That can't be me. If something makes me smile for long enough, I will absolutely buy it.
Hell yes. Live it. I'm here for it.
Yes.
Okay, well, our next question is what do you think of way too often? What's your Roman Empire?
Probably Once Upon a Time. Once
Yes, I've seen you on X or somewhere talking about this.
Once Upon a Time is an ABC show that I am pretty sure wrapped up in like 2011 or something. Like it's been a while. And every so often I will get on Twitter and I will start a whole thread of something obscure I remember from Once Upon a Time. And it's I cannot tell you why I love that show so much because it's not a great, but it was one of my favorite shows. So I would say I probably think about Once Upon a Time at least once a week. I'm going to a fan convention here in Seattle, and I'm going entirely because an actress from Once Upon a Time will be there.
I love
Yes.
that.
Who is it? Who is it from Once Upon a Time?
Barbarina!
Hell
She
yes.
played Regina, the evil queen.
The best character, in my
Best
opinion,
actor.
on the entire show.
Yes, and as soon as I saw that she was going to be there, I was like, well, I got to buy those tickets. Like I said, if it makes me smile for long enough.
Now, are you dressing up? Is this a dressing up convention?
No, it is not a dressing up convention, unfortunately. But honestly, I still have the Barbie costume, so never say never. I have no
I
shame.
love it.
I have a
I
bank
love it.
account, no shame.
I
I,
love it.
I feel like set the trend. Any excuse to dress up is good enough. You know what I mean?
I don't need a reason.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you back to writing. Did you always want to write? Or
Uh, yes. You don't even need to ask the rest of the question. The answer is yes. Um, and for me, at least, writing, because I was born in Jamaica and then I came here when I was 5 years old, and writing felt like this great, like, equalizer almost because, I couldn't speak the same way as my classmates and I didn't know the same words as my classmates, and the words I did know, I pronounced them weird. So when I wrote, I was able to express myself in a way that felt kind of like above reproach because the great thing about like the creative arts is that there's no right or wrong. It's all so subjective, which is terrible when you're an author because like one person will be like, "Oh my God, the pacing of your book was terrible," and the next person will be like, "The pacing of this book was great." But like at the time, the fact that I couldn't be wrong while writing um, really, really drew me to it, and it really helped me kind of hear myself when no one was listening. So yeah, I it was always going to be writing for me. No matter where else I ended up in my day job, I had a story inside me and it was going to come out in some way eventually.
That's so profound, honestly. Yeah, like it just cuts to the core of just like no matter what, somebody's gonna listen because it's you. Like you get to hear your story and feel it and see it shine. And that's beautiful, honestly. I think it's so powerful. And it's one of those things like when I sometimes get asked like about author advice or writerly advice, like that feels like it for me is like to always remember the why.
Mm.
It's like why did you start it all? And it sounds like for you it's like for yourself.
Yeah.
Is that something that just carried you through all of the hard times, like during the year of having to write a whole ass book?
I think when I was entering publishing, I was doing this for me and for the child that I had been. But I think now that I'm on the second book, or at least in the past year, it's not about me anymore. Because if I was just writing stories for me at this point, I could, like, that's what AO3 is for. Like, I could be having so much more fun and so much less stress writing for myself on AO3 right now. Did you know they have an original fiction section? Because I knew that. Yeah, they do. So it's not just, I think once you put a book out in the world, and especially writing for teens, it's not about you anymore. It is about the kind of yous that exist right now, the teenage version of you that didn't have this story, the teenage version of you that is, sitting in a classroom right now and they don't know who they are and they don't know what's allowed. And your book comes along and shows them like a door is open that they always thought was closed. So I really, really do it for that moment that we can, from when I was a teen to now, I do it for that moment of progress where we get closer and closer to a world where teenagers never know that there was ever a door there in the first place. And I think that's what carries me through more than anything else, just knowing that this is no longer about me. This is about making sure the next generation, like, they see the path and they can walk it.
Good
Fuck
Lord,
yes.
woman. Fuck yes. Oh, that's the other sound bite. I'm like over here misting my glasses up. Because yeah, that was so beautiful and I love so much about that answer. Um, and I fully agree with you. Like maybe we start for ourselves, but to pursue it with what you need to pursue it to continue, it can't just be I think it can't just be for yourself at a point because of how complicated and hard the industry is. So
I think
preach.
if we we're still writing for ourselves, all of us would have quit already. Like
Literally.
100%. But no, it's after a certain point, it's not about you anymore. And I think that
Mm.
pushes you forward more than anything else.
Oh,
Mm.
that's good. That is good. I'm not even lying because it's funny because I'm working on my third book right now.
Yeah.
And I think I was writing it for myself, this third book, but now like as I got edits back and like, my editor's asking like, okay, but why is she doing this? Like my
Mm.
editor's like the feminist in me, the young teenage girl in me wants her to do this. Like, why aren't you having her do that? And I was like, and I was thinking because I wouldn't want to do that. But as like literally as you're saying this, it clicks like because this isn't about you, bitch. Like this is about this is about the readers and like what the character's development needs to be and what our readers need to hear and learn and understand and break through. And that is so, so profound. I freaking love that. I
Mm.
think I've already told you profound maybe 3 times already today, which
That
is
was
true.
especially profound because
Yes.
I got
you somehow managed to like verbalize something that I already thought, but I didn't know it in those words. And I love those moments so fucking much because that's it. Like it's not just for the old you. It's not just for you. It's that whatever magical thing you said, which I'm gonna play over again later. Something about, you know, all of us having that moment where where you switch on, and I think that lately that's something that sits in my mind that like you can like kind of wake people up. Do you know what I mean? Like there's moments in life where people said something to me and it woke me up out of like either like a problematic way of thinking or like something that someone taught me when I was younger or something you saw, and somebody says something and it just wakes you up, and maybe it's like, yeah, it's just such a enlightened way to think of it. I agree. It's very profound. It's
It
gonna
is.
be in the sound bite.
I will leave right now.
We're just gonna keep making you blush, so I just hope you're
Yes.
ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, I want to ask, which we haven't touched on, we'll get to it, but like you also have adult books coming out. Do you feel like there's a difference between
Mm.
like your subject matter or how you're tackling character arcs in young adult versus adult? I'm purely asking for selfish reasons because I'm trying to write adult eventually and I want to know, like, tell me how to do it, what to do right. What are your thoughts?
Yes, there really is. When I write for teens, I am writing for an audience that I feel is more, how do I put this in a non-offensive way as an adult? They are more open
Mm.
to
Hmm.
new ideas, to new schools of thought, to
Yes.
new things, you know? Like a teenager they have a certain critical thinking skill that sometimes adults lack because by the time that you're an adult, you're like, I know who I am, I know what I want, I know what I like and what I dislike, and you're willing to try things less. Generalizing,
Mm.
generalizing. So it's very different to write for teens versus adults because I feel like with teens, like I have a little more freedom to be messy because
Hmm.
teens are messy. Life is messy. Emotions are messy. And you're really honing in on a time in their lives when, like, everything is so much all the time.
Yeah.
Then you switch to adult, and it's like all the everything is so much all the time still happening, but you have to relate to those things happening differently. So that was difficult because so my adult book is called An Arcane Inheritance. It's an adult dark academia. About a 21-year-old college student named Ellery Morgan, who, she's attending an Ivy League college, and then she finds a tattoo on the back of her neck that she doesn't remember getting, written in her own hand that just says, remember. And then she has to, investigate how that happened and who is benefiting from keeping her memories away from her with the school golden boy, Hudson Graves. Um,
Stop.
when
This is too cool. When is it coming out? Why can't I have it now?
January 27th, 2026. And it's a deluxe edition package, so you should pre-order it now. Um,
Amazing.
But the way that Ellery and Hudson relate to each other and relate to the world around them is so different than, say, the way Theron and Alara in my young adult book do, because Theron and Alara, something happens, emotional reaction. Ellery and Hudson, something happens, emotional reaction, pause to process, then outward reaction. So it's like a little different in that sense. It's a little more muted, but it's been an interesting challenge to tackle, I think.
Mm.
Um, just in that I am 34 years old, right? Uh,
That's what you said. That's what you said at the beginning of this. Yes.
I still feel like when somebody's like, I need an adult, I need to look around like, all right, where are we gonna find one of those? Um,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to kind of like turn your brain to being like, all right, like give or take, you are an adult now. This is how you would deal with something versus when you were 15 years old. And I think that's the hardest part is like kind of figuring out those reactions because I think that as adults, we do pause a little bit more before we.
Yes. Yes. That's okay. Well, we should at least
Yes, we
by
should.
this point.
It
Yes.
doesn't always happen, but we do have the capability,
Mm,
That's good. That's good.
that's
allegedly.
good.
Allegedly. Yeah. Well, since we're talking about your books, like, can you go back to book two that's coming out freaking tomorrow? Can you tell us? I don't know what you can tell us that's not spoilery, but can you tell our readers what they can expect?
Everyone is miserable. Everyone is miserable and separated and scared and dealing with a lot. There's more kissing. There is more arguments. There is more of all of your favorite characters. There's a lot of death. I saw a lot of reviewers, not that I read my reviews, but I saw a lot of reviewers say that this book was darker than the previous, and it is because the war has broken out now and everybody has to deal with how they are going to participate in this, no matter their age. So I would just say that this book it feels, I just want it to be satisfying. It may not necessarily be fun, parts are fun, but I want it to feel very satisfying. And I do think that I accomplished that. And I am very, very proud that it's coming out, especially at the political climate that we are having right now, since it deals a lot with what to do when people in power are corrupt and you want to do good, but you are being stopped by bureaucracy, your voice isn't being heard. Like how do you put good into the world is a big theme of this book, and I hope that it is embraced by everyone.
Mm.
Hell yes.
Hell
Yes, thank you.
yes. You're making me misty again. And sorry, I just had to shush my dog. She was having a little crisis over there. But
Aw,
yes,
baby.
yeah. But I love all of that. And yeah, I'm so glad it's coming out tomorrow. Is there something you wish your readers knew before reading it?
I would say you should probably reread So Let Them Burn because I just throw you right back in there. I meant to do a recap, guys. I didn't get around to it. It's been a long year. Good luck and Godspeed, but like you will love this book so much more if you reread the first one. But you won't be completely lost if you don't, I swear.
Hmm.
Yeah. But just reread it.
But just do
Reread it.
it. In
Get
fact,
the
buy another
audiobook,
copy.
get the Kindle, get another copy. There's so many pretty editions. Like, get it
But
all.
buy one from every country. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all so gorgeous. Every single one of your covers is
Literally, every time I
phenomenal.
see your covers, I'm just like, gasp.
I really got so lucky. I'm the artists involved and the publisher. I feel blessed.
You are, yes, you are blessed by the writerly gods, 100 billion freaking percent. Now, like, is there anything that you find yourself doing differently, like this second time around versus being a debut author? I don't know, like marketing wise or just mental health wise, or how, you know?
Um, no. I didn't learn my lesson at all. I've been having panic sweats since last Friday, going, I have a book coming out. I took the week off work, just like I took the week off work last time. I'm going to be dressing in the most obnoxious jumpsuit you've ever seen to my own launch because I'm in Aries. There's nothing. I even sent my publisher the same gift basket of cookies that I sent them last. Like I didn't do it differently. And I think honestly, for something like this, I think I had to kind of do it the exact same way because like it's just something that's so terrifying and I find routine comforting.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I haven't really done anything different, probably by design. It's like my version of wearing like lucky underwear is just to do the exact same rituals.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you've set kind of like your traditions kind of for
Yes.
for a book launch, and it's adorable. I love it, and I'm manifesting all the good things for this book as well.
Oh, thank you guys so much. I'm so scared.
It's
You're
gonna be
gonna do
phenomenal.
amazing. You're already doing
Yes,
amazing.
Thank
it's
you.
true. No, it's true. You're doing so, so good.
Oh,
100%.
so, so good. We didn't mention this earlier, but the third book that Angela is working on is called Carnival Fantastico. You can add it on Goodreads right now.
Literally. Yes.
It's true. It is
Insane.
true, everybody. Yes, it's
I-
so good. It's so great.
All your books are so good and so great.
Thank you. And thank you for
Good.
blurbing one of my books. I appreciate it so
That
freaking
book
much.
was a cruel thirst.
Mm,
Name these books, Angela.
name them. Listen, she does name them sometimes at the start of the intro, although you've been slacking off. I'm going to make you name them all at the start of the intro again.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I have been.
Melanie.
Yeah, I have been slacking off. It's just one of those things. It's one of those things. So what do you feel like has been your like favorite part of all of your experience so far? Because now you've been in it, you've been doing it. Like what has been the best part so far?
I would say the best part has probably been like probably the festivals and conventions and stuff that I've gotten to go to. I don't really travel much because I'm afraid of flying. So getting like when I saw you at Y'all West, that was the first time I'd ever been to California, like ever in my life.
Oh, cool.
I don't really travel much. So that's been really cool. And it's just been really great, like seeing the community, I guess. Because I mean, I think I mentioned this in a recent newsletter, but like not every author is going to be like your super BFF forever. Like some authors are really just coworkers.
Mm,
But just seeing everybody in their element and seeing that like we all come together and we like write these stories
yeah.
for people of any age category. Like we did that. And we get to come to these festivals and conventions and celebrate story. Like it's just really, really inspiring every time I see a pack of writers together. What is a pack of writers called? A stress of writers together.
Did you just come up with that? Because that's genius.
You're gonna have to coin that. I was so here and so invested for that word. We are a stress of writers.
Whenever I see a stress of writers together, I am just like, this is why we do it.
Literally.
Yes. That is, there is no other term. That is exactly what it is.
And I'm voting for you as the head of our stress of writers at this point.
No, no, I think Angela should be the head of the stress of writers.
Oh no, no, no. You are the president. You are the president.
Oh
I
my
will
God.
be your treasurer. I'll take the money and run.
I
I
will
will
be
that.
your court jester.
Oh my God, I love you guys so much.
I love you, and I see that somehow we have less than 3 minutes remaining on
Oh
this
crap.
Zoom call. So I want to ask you our last question, which is, how do you see your writing career, or like maybe what are your dreams or whatnot in the next 5, 10 years?
Um, so for the next 5, 10 years, I think 3 of those years are already claimed with books, but I just want to keep writing stories. I want to move beyond genre, in the words of Beyonce, as she won the album of the year. Sometimes genre is just a prison meant to keep us in one spot.
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck
But
yes.
I want to try my hand at like several different genres. I want to write cozies. I want to write horror. I want to write for children. I want to write for adults. I just want the opportunity to put my stories out into the world, to have them be appreciated.
Mm,
Um, finance in financial value, but also in like reception. And I want them to find the person that needs that story most at that time and to be their light in a dark place. That's
mm,
really all I want for the next 5 years. I want to be someone's light, someone somewhere.
mm. I fucking love you. I, I fucking love you, and I second that so hard. I also think it's a death trap when people try to force writers into just one pigeonhole because nobody is consuming one thing. Like we all watching Moana when it comes out. We're all watching whatever. Like there's these things that come out and everybody wants them no matter what age group. So yes, preach. I see we have less than a minute. I don't know where the time went.
I love that it changes to just saying less than a minute.
I know. It's like, bitch, pay attention.
Like,
Alert,
wrap
alert. No,
up.
yeah. Well, thank you for joining us again. You're free to come on any day. We
Yeah.
are here for you. We love you. We're so proud of you. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you guys so much. You are, again, the best podcasters in the game. Thank you so much for having me. This has meant the world, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
We love you.
We love
Save that
you.
sound bite.
Literally,
Save
I was
that
just
sound bite.
thinking, I'm just gonna use you as our promo. The best podcast in the world. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Start tagging all the other podcasts. Just tag
I'm going to tell
everybody.
them. Yes, I'm going to tell them. As soon as this episode goes up, I'm going to be like, guys, this is number one. I'm sorry.